Everybody can feel that something is happening. You can see it in the stock market. You can see it in job postings. You can see it in startup pitch decks. You can see it in corporate meetings. You can see it in cloud spending. You can see it in data centers rising near power plants. You can see it in founders changing their company names. You can see it in small businesses trying tools they barely understand. You can see it in students, writers, lawyers, doctors, designers, sales teams, customer support teams, and software engineers quietly changing the way they work. The strange thing is that almost nobody fully understands the whole gold rush. Some people think it is about chatbots. Some people think it is about Nvidia. Some people think it is about OpenAI. Some people think it is about replacing jobs. Some people think it is about data centers. Some people think it is about agents. Some people think it is about venture capital. Some people think it is a bubble. Some people think it is the next industrial revolution. The truth is bigger and messier. The AI gold rush is not one rush. It is many rushes happening at the same time. There is a rush for chips. There is a rush for cloud power. There is a rush for data. There is a rush for talent. There is a rush for model access. There is a rush for enterprise contracts. There is a rush for consumer attention. There is a rush for agents. There is a rush for automation agencies. There is a rush for regulation. There is a rush for energy. There is a rush for land. There is a rush for the next app that makes AI feel unavoidable. And underneath all of it is one simple belief. If intelligence becomes cheap, every business changes. That belief is why so much money is moving. It is why companies are spending billions before they fully know the return. It is why startups are raising money before they have clear revenue. It is why cloud giants are building as if demand will never stop. It is why chip companies became the center of the market. It is why workers are learning AI tools at night. It is why small businesses are asking whether they need a chatbot. It is why executives who ignored machine learning for years now begin every board meeting with the same question. What is our AI strategy? That question is the sound of the gold rush. But to understand this rush, we need to go back to an older story. Every gold rush begins with a discovery. Not always gold in the ground. Sometimes it is oil. Sometimes it is electricity. Sometimes it is railroad. Sometimes it is the internet. Sometimes it is mobile apps. Sometimes it is crypto. Sometimes it is a new tool that makes people believe a whole new economy is opening. The first people who see it tell everyone else there is money in the hills. Then the crowd arrives. Then the suppliers arrive. Then the gamblers arrive. Then the fraudsters arrive. Then the infrastructure builders arrive. Then the newspapers arrive. Then the politicians arrive. Then the bubble talk begins. Then some people get rich, many people lose money, and the world still changes anyway. That pattern is important, because a gold rush can be overhyped and still be historically important. The internet bubble burst, but the internet did not disappear. The railroad booms destroyed investors, but railroads changed economies. The crypto bubble ruined many people, but the idea of digital assets and decentralized systems did not vanish. The smartphone app gold rush created useless apps, but it also created platforms that reshaped daily life. AI may be similar. There is hype. There is waste. There are scams. There are inflated valuations. There are products that should not exist. There are founders adding AI to everything. There are companies pretending a chatbot is a strategy. There are executives buying tools because they are afraid of looking slow. But underneath the noise, something real is happening. Machines are getting better at language. Machines are getting better at code. Machines are getting better at images. Machines are getting better at video. Machines are getting better at search. Machines are getting better at summarizing, drafting, classifying, planning, and using tools. That changes the cost of work. And when the cost of work changes, business changes. This is why the AI gold rush is so hard to understand. It is not just a technology story. It is a labor story. It is an infrastructure story. It is a finance story. It is a software story. It is a media story. It is an education story. It is a power story. The same technology that helps a student write an essay also helps a company summarize contracts. The same model that writes a marketing email also helps a programmer debug code. The same infrastructure that serves a chatbot also powers an AI agent inside a bank. The same data center that trains a model also consumes power, land, water, chips, and money. That is why nobody fully understands the whole thing. Everyone sees their piece. Nobody sees the entire machine. The investor sees valuation. The engineer sees model performance. The founder sees product opportunity. The worker sees job risk. The CEO sees productivity. The cloud provider sees demand. The chip maker sees orders. The regulator sees danger. The teacher sees cheating. The creator sees competition. The small business owner sees a tool that might finally help with all the tasks they never had time to do. All of them are right. All of them are incomplete. The AI gold rush is a hall of mirrors. To one person, it looks like a software boom. To another person, it looks like an energy boom. To another, a labor shock. To another, a new platform. To another, a bubble. To another, a survival test. The easiest way to understand it is to follow the money. And the money begins with compute. AI looks like software on the surface. A text box, a voice assistant, a code editor, a dashboard, a search bar, a video generator, a helpful answer. But underneath, AI is physical. It needs chips. It needs servers. It needs networking. It needs cooling. It needs electricity. It needs buildings. It needs land. It needs supply chains. It needs engineers. It needs cloud contracts. It needs capital. This is the first thing many people miss. The AI gold rush is not only about clever algorithms. It is about building the factories that produce digital intelligence. In the old industrial world, factories turned raw materials into goods. In the AI world, data centers turn electricity and chips into predictions, text, images, code, recommendations, and decisions. That is why data centers became the new factories, and the companies that control these factories have enormous leverage. If you want to train a frontier model, you need compute. If you want to serve millions of users, you need compute. If you want AI agents running inside companies all day, you need compute. If you want AI video, AI code. AI search, AI support, AI sales, AI design, AI research, and AI assistance, you need compute. The gold rush begins before the user ever types a prompt. It begins with the chip. That is why Nvidia became the most obvious winner of the first phase. During a gold rush, the safest business is often selling picks and shovels. Nvidia sold the picks and shovels of AI. Not just chips, but the hardware and software ecosystem that made large-scale AI possible. The more companies wanted to train models, the more GPS they needed. The more users wanted AI answers, the more inference capacity they needed. The more startups promised AI products, the more cloud providers needed chips. The more big companies talked about agents, the more infrastructure had to be built. Suddenly, a chip was not just a chip. It was a ticket into the AI economy. This is the first gold rush layer. The chip layer, but chips alone are not enough. A chip needs a server. A server needs a data center. A data center needs power. Power needs grid connection. Cooling needs water or advanced systems. Networks need speed. Cloud platforms need software. Customers need access. This creates the second layer. The infrastructure rush. Microsoft, Amazon, Google, Meta, Oracle, and others are spending as if the future will be decided by who can build enough AI capacity. This spending is so large that it no longer feels like normal software investment. It feels like an industrial build-out. In the past, a software startup could scale with servers rented from the cloud. Now the cloud itself has to build new physical capacity at a speed that shocks the market. That is why investors are both excited and nervous. Excited because demand looks huge. Nervous because the spending is enormous. The question is simple. Will AI revenue grow fast enough to justify the infrastructure being built? Nobody knows for sure. That is the center of the gold rush. Everybody sees the potential. Nobody can fully measure the final demand. This is why the AI boom feels both obvious and uncertain. It is obvious that AI is useful. It is not obvious how much profit every company will make from it. Those are different things. All technology can be useful and still be overbuilt. A market can grow and still disappoint investors. A company can have a great product and still have bad economics. A tool can save time and still not generate enough revenue to support trillion-dollar infrastructure spending. This tension is everywhere. Users love AI tools. Workers use them daily. Developers rely on them. Companies experiment with them. But the infrastructure bill is massive. That is why the AI gold rush nobody fully understands is also a question about payback. Who pays for the compute? Who captures the value? Who gets squeezed? Who becomes infrastructure? Who becomes a feature? Who becomes a commodity? These questions matter more than the hype. Let us move up one layer. Above the infrastructure are the model companies: OpenAI, Anthropic, Google DeepMind, Meta, xAI, Mistral, and others are fighting to build better models. This is the layer most people see because it produces the demo. A model writes better code. A model understands images. A model answers faster. A model creates video. A model uses tools. A model feels more human. A model appears to reason. The demos create excitement. The excitement brings users. The users bring investors. The investors bring capital. The capital buys compute. The compute trains better models. The better models create better demos. This loop is the engine of the model rush. But model companies face a brutal problem. They are expensive to run. Training costs money. Serving users costs money. Hiring researchers costs money. Safety testing costs money. Data partnerships cost money. Infrastructure commitments cost money. A normal software company wants marginal cost to fall close to zero. An AI company pays every time intelligence is used. Each question has a cost. Each image has a cost. Each video has a bigger cost. Each agent workflow may require many model calls. Each enterprise deployment can multiply usage. So model companies need to do two things at once: make AI more capable, make AI cheaper. That is hard. The public sees the answer appear on the screen. The business sees the bill behind the answer. This is one of the hidden tensions of the gold rush. The better AI gets, the more people want to use it. The more people use it, the more infrastructure is needed. The more infrastructure is needed, the more revenue is required. The more revenue is required, the more pressure to monetize. The more pressure to monetize, the more the product changes. This is why free AI tools do not stay simple forever. They become subscription. They become enterprise platforms. They become APIs. They become ad possibilities. They become commerce channels. They become agent marketplaces. They become productivity suites because someone has to pay. The third layer is the application rush. This is where everyone else comes in. Startups are building AI for legal work, AI for sales, AI for customer support, AI for coding, AI for recruiting, AI for finance, AI for medical admin, AI for education, AI for design, AI for video, AI for insurance, AI for real estate, AI for personal productivity, AI for small business, AI for every workflow that ever annoyed someone. This layer is chaotic. It is where the most imagination lives. It is also where the most nonsense lives. During every gold rush, the easiest way to get attention is to attach the hot word to an old product. So old software becomes AI software. Old automation becomes AI agents. Old analytics becomes AI insights. Old chatbots become digital workers. Old content tools become AI growth engines. Old outsourcing becomes AI-powered operations. Some of this is real. Some of it is marketing. The market has to separate the two. The hard question for AI applications is this a product or just a feature? If a startup uses a model to summarize documents, will Microsoft add the same feature? If a tool writes emails, will Gmail or Outlook do it natively? If an app creates reports, will the existing dashboard add AI summaries? If a chatbot answers support questions, will the help desk platform include that by default? If a company builds a thin wrapper around a model, what happens when the model provider builds the same one? This is the feature trap. In a gold rush, many startups are really temporary features pretending to be companies. They can grow fast while the platform is incomplete, but as the platform matures, the feature gets absorbed. This does not mean application startups cannot win. They can, but they need something deeper. Unique workflow knowledge, distribution, data, customer trust, integration, compliance, a strong brand, a specific niche, a product that solves a painful problem better than a generic assistant. The winners will not simply say, "We use AI." They will say, "We understand this work better than anyone, and AI lets us deliver the outcome faster." That is different. The fourth layer is the enterprise rush. This may be the most important layer for profits. Consumers made AI famous. Enterprises may pay for it at scale. Companies want AI because they believe it can reduce cost, increase productivity, improve customer service, speed up software development, automate routine work, and help employees make better decisions. But enterprises are slow and complicated. They need security. They need privacy. They need compliance. They need integration. They need permissions. They need audit logs. They need legal review. They need procurement. They need training. They need change management. A demo can impress a CEO in 10 minutes. A deployment can take months. That gap is where many AI dreams slow down. The enterprise does not run on magic. It runs on messy systems, old databases, outdated policies, departments that do not talk to each other, employees using unofficial spreadsheets, customer data in 10 places, approval processes no one fully understands, security teams that say no, legal teams that worry about every output, managers who want productivity but fear mistakes, workers who worry AI will be used against them. AI enters this mess and promises transformation. Sometimes it helps. Sometimes it exposes how broken the company already was. This is why enterprise AI adoption is not just a technology project. It is an operations project. The companies that win will not be the ones buying the most AI tools. They will be the ones redesigning work around AI with discipline. That means clean data, clear workflows, human oversight, security boundaries, measured outcomes, employee training, leadership honesty. Without those things, AI becomes theater. A company announces an AI initiative. Employees try a few tools. A pilot creates excitement. No workflow changes. No measurable result. The project fades. That will happen many times. The gold rush contains both serious transformation and corporate. The fifth layer is the agent rush. This is the part of AI that businesses are now obsessing over. Agent but answers. An agent acts. That sentence is why the market cares. A chatbot can help write an email. An agent can draft it, send it for approval, update the CRM, schedule a reminder, and log the result. A chatbot can explain a refund policy. An agent can check the order, apply the policy, issue the refund if allowed, update the ticket, and notify the customer. A chatbot can summarize an invoice. An agent can match it to a purchase order, flag a mismatch, ask a manager for approval, and prepare the payment record. Agents turn AI from advice into workflow. That is why companies are excited. But agents also multiply the risk. A wrong answer is one problem. A wrong action is another. If an agent sends the wrong email, approves the wrong payment, changes the wrong record, or exposes private data, the damage can scale quickly. This is why the agent rush is both promising and dangerous. Companies want digital labor. They also need digital governance. The sixth layer is the labor rush. This is the human side. Workers are using AI whether companies are ready or not. A marketer uses AI to draft ideas. A programmer uses it to write code. A lawyer uses it to summarize documents. A student uses it to study. A recruiter uses it to draft job description. A consultant uses it to build slides. A manager uses it to write performance notes. A support rep uses it to answer tickets. Sometimes officially, sometimes quietly. This creates a strange labor market. Companies want employees who can use AI. Employees want AI to make their jobs easier. But employees also fear AI will make their jobs smaller. This is not paranoia. It is math. If one person with AI can do the work of two people, companies will eventually ask why they need the people. Not in every role. Not immediately. Not perfectly. But the question will come. This is why AI adoption feels different from many software tools. A new project management app does not make people question the future of their profession. AI does. It touches writing, analysis, coding, design, support, research planning, and coordination. Those are white-collar tasks. For decades, automation anxiety was often directed at factories, warehouses, and drive-ins. Now it sits inside offices. This is another reason nobody fully understands the gold rush. It is not only about who makes money. It is about who keeps leverage. If AI makes workers more productive, do workers earn more? Do companies hire fewer people? Do customers get lower prices? Do shareholders capture the gains? Do new jobs appear fast enough? Do entry-level roles disappear? Do experienced workers become more powerful? Do junior workers lose training opportunities? These questions are not settled. The gold rush is not only winners and losers among companies. It has winners and losers inside the labor market. The seventh layer is the small business rush. This is quieter but important. Small businesses are using AI because they never had enough capacity. A small business does not need AI to replace a department. It needs AI because it never had the department. No marketing team, no analyst team, no HR team, no legal operations team, no full customer support staff, no sales operations department. AI becomes a first layer of help. Draft the post, answer the review, summarize the customer feedback, write the proposal, create the checklist, explain the numbers, generate the FAQ, follow up with the lead. Poor small businesses, and AI is not always about disruption. Sometimes it is about relief. That is why the gold rush reaches Main Street, the bakery, the repair shop, the clinic, the local agency, the solo consultant, the commerce seller, the tutor, the realtor, the restaurant. They may not talk about artificial general intelligence. They talk about missed calls, late invoices, social media posts, customer questions, and follow-up. This is where AI becomes ordinary. Not in keynote demos, in daily work. The eighth layer is the education rush. Every time a new technology scares people, someone sells a course. AI prompt courses, AI agency courses, AI automation courses, AI content courses, AI trading courses, AI freelancing courses, AI tools newsletters, AI certification programs, AI influencer playbooks. Some are useful. Many are rushed. Some are just old internet marketing with new words. The promise is simple. Learn AI now and you will not be left behind. That promise works because people are anxious. Workers worry about jobs. Founders worry about competition. Students worry about the future. Freelancers worry about rates. Small business owners worry about falling behind. So they buy the course, the template, the prompt pack, the community, the playbook. This is part of every gold rush. Some people mine for gold. Some sell shovels. Some sell maps to people who do not know the map is incomplete. The education rush can help people adapt. It can also exploit fear. The difference is whether it teaches real skills or only sells urgency. Real AI literacy is not memorizing prompts. It is understanding what AI can do, what it cannot do, where it fails, how to verify outputs, how to protect data, how to apply it to real work, and how to keep human judgment in the loop. That is harder than a viral thread. The ninth layer is the regulation rush. Governments are trying to catch up. They see opportunity, productivity, national competitiveness, scientific discovery, better public services, defense capabilities. They also see risk, misinformation, discrimination, privacy breaches, job disruption, cyber misuse, monopoly power, safety failures, deep fakes, concentration of compute, and foreign competition. So regulators are asking, how do we encourage AI innovation without letting companies move recklessly? How do we protect citizens how do we regulate powerful models without creating rules only big companies can afford? How do we handle copyright? How do we handle liability? How do we handle AI decisions that affect people? This matters because regulation can shape the winners. If compliance becomes expensive, large companies may benefit. If open source models face restrictions, closed model providers may gain power. If data rules become strict, companies with licensed datasets may win. If AI outputs create legal liability, cautious enterprise vendors may gain trust. Regulation is not outside the gold rush. It is part of it. The 10th layer is the power rush. This may be the deepest one. AI is not only a product category. It is a control layer. If a company controls the AI assistant people use every day, it controls part of how they search, write, learn, shop, code, decide, and work. That is power. If a company controls the cloud where AI runs, it controls access to capacity. That is power. If a company controls the chips, it controls the bottleneck. That is power. If a company controls the operating system, browser, phone, office suite, or enterprise software where AI is embedded, it controls distribution. That is power. If a company controls the data needed to train or ground models, it controls context. That is power. The AI gold rush is a fight over where power settles. Will it sit with chip makers, cloud giants, model companies, application platforms, enterprise software vendors, open source communities, governments, users? Nobody knows. That uncertainty is why the race is so aggressive. Every powerful company fears being reduced to someone else's layer. Google fears AI changing search. Microsoft wants AI inside work. Amazon wants cloud demand. Meta wants open models and social AI. Apple wants AI on devices. Nvidia wants to remain the compute backbone. OpenAI wants to become the default intelligence interface. Anthropic wants trusted enterprise AI. Startups want niches before platforms. Everyone wants to be the gateway, because gateways capture value. Search was a gateway to information. Social networks were gateways to attention. App stores were gateways to mobile software. Cloud platforms were gateways to compute. AI assistants may become gateways to action. That is why the AI assistant matters so much. A tool that answers questions is useful. A tool that becomes the starting point for work is strategic. If users ask an AI before searching, search changes. If workers ask an AI before opening software, software changes. If customers ask an AI before buying, commerce changes. If developers ask an AI before writing code, development changes. If companies assign work to agents before hiring people, labor changes. This is much bigger than a chatbot. Now let us talk about the bubble question. Is AI a bubble? The honest answer is uncomfortable. Parts of it probably are. Parts of it probably are not. There may be a bubble in valuations. There may be a bubble in weak startups. There may be a bubble in companies adding AI to products that do not need it. There may be a bubble in courses promising easy money. There may be a bubble in corporate pilots with no return. There may be a bubble in infrastructure if demand does not grow fast enough. But that does not mean AI itself is fake. A bubble is not the same as a fraud. A bubble often forms around a real technology when expectations get ahead of timing. economics, and execution. The internet was real before the dot-com crash. The railroads were real before many railroad investors lost. Fiber optic networks were real even when too much capacity was built too soon. AI can be real and still overhyped. This is the correct frame. The question is not, is AI real or fake? The question is, which parts are real businesses, which parts are early, which parts are overbuilt, which parts are scams, and which parts will become infrastructure everyone uses without thinking about it. That is harder. The easiest way to lose money in a gold rush is to confuse a real trend with a good investment. Those are different. AI may transform the economy. That does not mean every AI startup is valuable. AI may increase productivity. That does not mean every company buying AI tools will see profits. AI may create huge cloud demand. That does not mean every data center project will earn the expected. AI may change work. That does not mean every worker will benefit. AI may become a platform. That does not mean every app built on top of it will survive. This distinction is where understanding begins. Now let us talk about who made money first. In many gold rushes, the first winners are not the miners. They are the suppliers. In AI, the suppliers include chip makers, cloud providers, data center builders, energy companies, equipment suppliers, networking companies, cooling companies, consultants, and platforms. If every company wants AI, someone has to provide the machinery. This is why the AI boom spread far beyond software. Construction firms care. Utilities care. Real estate owners care. Power grid operators care. Semiconductor suppliers care. Cooling technology companies care. Telecom companies care. Consulting firms care. Cybersecurity companies care. AI user sees an answer. The economy sees a supply chain. This is why the AI gold rush feels so large. It pulls on everything. Ships pull on foundries. Foundries pull on equipment. Data centers pull on land. Land pulls on local politics. Power pulls on utilities. Utilities pull on energy policy. Energy policy pulls on climate concerns. Cloud demand pulls on capital markets. Capital markets pull on investors. Investors pull on startups. Startups pull on talent. Talent pulls on salaries. Salaries pull on company burn rates. Burn rates pull on revenue pressure. Revenue pressure pulls on product design. The chain is long. That is why nobody fully understands it. Now let us talk about the hidden energy problem. AI runs on electricity. That sounds obvious, but it changes everything. A new app can be launched quickly. A power grid cannot be rebuilt overnight. Data centers need reliable power. They may need huge power contracts. They may compete with other local needs. They may trigger political debates. They may create environmental concerns. They may push companies toward nuclear, renewables, gas, batteries, and new grid infrastructure. This means AI is no longer only a Silicon Valley story. It becomes a local story. A town may ask, do we want this data center? Will it create jobs? Will it raise energy demand? Will it use water? Will it increase tax revenue? Will it strain the grid? Who benefits? Who pays? These are not abstract questions. The AI gold rush reaches communities that may never use the latest AI on auto. They may still host the infrastructure. This is another reason the rush is misunderstood. People talk about intelligence, but the ground reality is concrete: copper, transformers, turbines, and transmission lines. Now let us talk about data. AI needs data. At first, much of the conversation focused on large public data sets. Models learned from text, code, images, and media scraped or licensed from many sources. That created copyright battles. Publishers, authors, artists, and rights holders asked, was our work used? Should permission be required? Should we be paid? Does training count as fair use? Does AI output compete with us? This legal fight is not a side issue. It may shape the economics of AI. If training data becomes more expensive, model companies need more capital. If licensing becomes standard, data owners gain power. If courts allow broad training, model companies gain flexibility. If content owners block access, smaller players may struggle. Data is a resource in the gold rush. The public data is only one part. The next gold may be private work, a law firm's documents, a hospital's records, a retailer's customer behavior, a manufacturer's quality logs, a bank's risk data, a software company's support tickets, a sales team's call transcripts. This data is valuable because it is connected to real work. Generic models can answer general questions. Business value often comes from applying AI to specific data inside specific workflows. This is why enterprises are cautious. The data is valuable. The data is sensitive. The data is messy. Who can use it safely may win. Now let us talk about talent. The AI gold rush created a talent rush. Researchers, engineers, product managers, data scientists, infrastructure specialists, AI safety experts, prompt engineers, solution architects, sales engineers, and AI consultants all became part of the market. Top researchers became extremely valuable. Infrastructure engineers became critical. People who could actually turn AI demos into products became rare. This created a strange talent economy. Big companies pay enormous compensation to hire or retain AI talent. Startups promise equity and mission. Researchers become founders. Founders become celebrities. Engineers move between labs, cloud companies, and new startups. But there is also another layer. Millions of ordinary workers are trying to become AI literate. They do not need to train models. They need to use them well. The future may divide workers not simply into AI builders and non-builders, but into people who know how to use AI inside their work and people who do not. This is why the gold rush reaches careers. AI literacy becomes a form of leverage, but the word literacy matters. It is not just knowing which tool is popular. It is knowing how to apply AI safely and usefully. A worker who blindly trusts AI is risky. A worker who ignores AI may fall behind. A worker who supervises AI well becomes more valuable. This is the new skill stack. Now let us talk about the emotional engine of the gold rush. Fear. Fear that your competitor will move first. Fear that your company will look outdated. Fear that your job will change. Fear that your startup idea will be copied. Fear that your skills will lose value. Fear that your stock portfolio will miss the next big winner. Fear that your country will fall behind. Fear that your children will enter a different labor market. Fear that your business will be too slow. And on the other side, greed, the hope of getting rich early, the hope of building the next platform, the hope of owning a new market, the hope of automating costs, the hope of scaling without hiring, the hope of investing before everyone else, the hope of becoming the expert, the hope of escaping ordinary work. Fear and greed are the fuel of gold rushes. They make people move before they fully understand. Sometimes moving early is smart. Sometimes it is reckless. The difference is judgment. Now let us talk about the scam layer. Every gold rush attracts scams. AI is no different. Fake AI investment schemes, fake automation agencies, fake passive income tools, fake trading bots, fake AI courses, fake productivity claims, fake generated reviews, fake AI employees, fake demos, fake case studies. The pattern is simple. Take a real technology people do not fully understand. Add urgency. Add income claims. Add a few screenshots. Add fear of missing out. Sell the dream. This works because AI is both powerful and confusing. When people do not know how to evaluate the technology, confidence becomes a weapon. A person can say, "This AI system will replace your sales team. This AI bot will double your revenue. This AI trading tool will predict the market. This AI agency model will make you rich. This AI contingent will build passive income." The claims sound possible because AI itself feels like magic. That is why skepticism is necessary. not cynicism. Skepticism. Asked what problem is being solved, who pays, what evidence exists, what data is used, what happens when it fails, how is value measured, is this a real system or a demo, is this a product or a feature, is this automation or marketing language? These questions cut through hype. Now let us talk about the creator rush. Oh, it changed content creation. Writers, video creators, designers, musicians, educators, marketers, and influencers all felt it. AI can draft scripts. It can generate images. It can edit audio. It can summarize research. It can turn content into clips. It can generate thumbnails ideas. It can translate. It can voice content. It can create endless variations. This creates two opposite forces. More people can create. More content becomes generic. The barrier to production falls. The value of originality rises. This is confusing. Some creators fear being replaced. Some use AI to produce more. Some audiences get tired of AI slop. Some AI-generated content performs well. Some platforms drown in low-quality material. The gold rush in media may not reward the people who create the most content. It may reward people who combine AI efficiency with taste, trust, and a real point of view. Because when content becomes cheap, attention becomes more expensive. This is another hidden law of the gold rush. AI lowers the cost of output, but it does not lower the cost of trust. Trust may become more valuable. Now let us talk about software development. AI coding tools are one of the clearest productivity gains. They help developers write code, explain errors, generate tests, refactor functions, and learn unfamiliar systems. This changes software economics. Small teams can build more. Junior developers can get help. Senior developers can move faster. Non-technical founders can prototype. Companies can reduce some routine coding time. But coding AI also creates risks. More code does not always mean better software. Generated code can introduce bugs. Security issues can hide. Architecture still matters. Understanding the problem still matters. Testing still matters. The best developers will not be replaced by AI quickly. They will become stronger with it. But the job may change. More reviewing. More system design. More debugging AI-generated work. More focus on product judgment. This is another example of the labor shift. AI does not simply remove work. It changes where the valuable work is. Now let us talk about AI search. Search was one of the most valuable businesses in history. AI threatens to change it because users may prefer direct answers. Instead of typing keywords and clicking links, a user asks a full question and gets a synthesized response. This affects advertising. It affects publishers. It affects SEO. It affects e-commerce. It affects how websites get traffic. It affects who becomes the gateway to information. That is why companies are fighting over AI search and answer engine. If AI becomes the interface to the web, the old map changes. Publishers worry that AI is their content without sending traffic back. Brands worry about how AI recommends products. SEO experts wonder how to optimize for AI systems. Consumers wonder which answers to trust. This is a gold rush for visibility. In the old web, you wanted to rank on Google. In the AI web, you may want to be the source the assistant trusts. That is a different game. Now let us talk about agents again, but from the platform angle. If an AI agent can book travel, compare products, negotiate bills, schedule meetings, order supplies, prepare reports, and contact vendors, it becomes a powerful intermediary. Businesses may no longer market only to humans. They may market to agents acting for humans. This sounds futuristic, but parts of it are already forming. If a user's agent chooses which product to buy, the product page must be readable to the agent. If a company procurement agent compares vendors, vendors need machine-readable trust signals. If a travel agent AI books hotels, hotels must compete inside AI recommendation system. The gold rush moves from search optimization to agent optimization. This could change marketing again. The company that controls the agent may control the market path. Now let us talk about open source. Open source and open way, AI models complicate the gold rush. Closed model companies want to sell access. Open models let developers run, customize, and build more freely. Open models can reduce dependence on a few providers. They can lower costs. They can help companies keep data private. They can accelerate innovation. They can also create safety and misuse concerns. This creates a political and business fight. Closed companies argue powerful models need careful control. Open advocates argue concentration is dangerous and innovation needs openness. Governments worry about misuse but also want domestic AI capability. Enterprises want flexibility. Developers want freedom. The open source layer may prevent any one company from owning everything, or it may pressure prices while the biggest frontier models remain expensive and closed. Both can happen. This is why the market may split. Frontier closed models for the hardest tasks. Cheaper open models for many everyday work. Specialized models for industries. Small models on devices. The gold rush is not winner take all in every layer. It may become a messy stack of options. Now let us talk about devices. If AI runs only in the cloud, cloud providers gain power. If AI runs on phones, laptops, cars, nobots, and appliances, device makers gain power. This is why on-device AI matters. It can reduce latency. It can protect privacy. It can lower cloud costs. It can make assistance available everywhere. But small devices have limits. The future may be hybrid. Small models on the device for fast, private tasks. Larger cloud models for harder tasks. This creates another gold rush. A at the end. Phones, PCs, wearables, cars, robots, cameras, factories, medical devices. If intelligence moves into devices, the AI economy expands beyond chat windows. Now let us talk about robotics. Many people think AI is only digital. But if AI improves perception, planning, and control, it can affect robots. Warehouse robots, factory robots, delivery robots, home robots, medical robots, agricultural robots, humanoid robots. This is still much harder than chat. The physical world is unforgiving. A chatbot mistake can be corrected with text. A robot mistake can break objects or hurt people. But the ambition is clear. If AI moves from screens into machines, the gold rush becomes even larger. Digital labor is one thing. Physical labor is another. The path may be slower, but the potential is enormous. Now let us talk about science. AI may help with drug discovery, materials science, climate modeling, biology, chemistry, and engineering. This is one of the most important long-term possibilities. The public often focuses on chatbots because they are visible, but the deeper value may come from AI helping humans discover new things, better proteins, better batteries, better materials, better simulation, better medical research, better industrial design. This part of the gold rush is less flashy than consumer apps, but potentially more transformative. However, science is slow. A model can suggest a molecule quickly. The real world still needs testing. Labs, trials, regulation, manufacturing, and safety take time. This is a pattern across AI. Digital demos move fast. Physical reality moves slower. Investors sometimes forget that. Now let us talk about healthcare. Healthcare has huge AI potential because the system is full of information, paperwork, diagnosis challenges, scheduling problems, billing complexity, and staff overload. AI can help with documentation, patient messages, appointment scheduling, coding, prior authorization, research, imaging support, triage, and administrative work. But healthcare is high stakes. Privacy matters. Accuracy matters. Regulation matters. Human judgment matters. The medical AI era can be serious. So the gold rush in healthcare may be slower, more regulated, and more valuable if done correctly. The first big wins may not be replacing doctors. They may be reducing paperwork so doctors and nurses can spend more time on care. That is less dramatic. It may be more realistic. Now let us talk about finance. Banks and financial firms want AI for customer service, fraud detection, compliance, research risk analysis, document review, and internal productivity. But finance is also regulated. A wrong answer about money can hurt people. A biased model can create legal risk. A hidden error can scale quickly. Financial firms may move carefully, but they have strong incentives. If AI reduces compliance costs, improves fraud detection, and speeds analysis, the value is huge. Again, the gold rush is not only public apps. It is hidden workflows inside institutions. Now let us talk about legal work. AI can summarize documents, review contracts, search case material, draft memos, and support discoveries. Law is full of language. AI is strong at language. That makes the opportunity obvious. But law is also full of responsibility. A fake citation, wrong clause, or bad interpretation can be costly. The winners in legal AI will not simply generate text. They will build trusted workflows with verification, citations, audit trails, and lawyer oversight. This is another gold rush lesson. The closer AI gets to high-stakes work, the more trust matters. Now let us talk about education. AI candidate, explain, quiz, translate, summarize, and personalize learning. It can also help students cheat, flood teachers with AI written work, and blur the meaning of assessment. This makes education one of the most conflicted parts of the AI rush. A good AI tutor could help millions of students. A bad AI learning culture could weaken skills. Schools are still trying to decide what to do. Ban it, use it, detect it, teach it, redesign assignments. The gold rush here is not only companies selling EdTech. It is a deeper question. What should learning look like when answers are cheap? That question is still open. Now let us talk about creativity. AI can generate images, music, video, voices, scripts, and designs. This creates opportunity for small creators and danger for professional artists. A solo creator can make things that used to require a team. A studio can produce variations faster. A brand can create cheap ads. A filmmaker can visualize scenes. A game developer can prototype worlds. But artists worry about training data, imitation, job loss, and a flood of synthetic content. The creative gold rush is emotional because creativity is tied to identity. If a machine can generate something beautiful, what happens to the human artist? The answer may be that taste, direction, originality, story, and trust become more important, but the transition will be painful. Now let us talk about the companies that will lose. Not every company benefits from AI. Companies built on expensive, repetitive work may be squeezed. Companies with slow processes may be outpaced. Companies that sell generic content may be commoditized. Companies that ignore AI may become inefficient. Companies that adopt AI badly may damage trust. Companies that overspend without ROI may disappoint investors, and companies that depend on old search traffic may lose visibility. Companies that build thin AI wrappers may be absorbed by companies that rely on labor arbitrage may face automation pressure. The gold rush is not a rising tide for everyone. It changes the terrain. Now let us talk about the companies that may win. Companies with distribution. Companies with trusted data. Companies with workflow ownership. Companies with strong customer relationships. Companies with infrastructure. Companies with developer ecosystems. Companies with regulatory trust. Companies with domain expertise. Companies that make AI boring and reliable. Companies that solve real pain instead of selling hype. The winners may not always be the flashiest. Some winners will be invisible. The cooling company, the data center REIT, the power supplier, the enterprise integration firm, the cybersecurity vendor, the boring software company that adds AI to a workflow customers already use. In a gold rush, the obvious winner is not always the biggest winner. Now let us talk about consumers. Consumers get new tools. Better search, writing help, tutoring, creative tools, personal assistance, translation, health explanations, shopping help, travel planning, coding help, image generation, video tools. This can be empowering, but consumers also face risks. Wrong answers, persuasive misinformation, deep fakes, privacy concerns, overdependence, manipulative personalization, fake reviews, synthetic scams, emotional attachment to chat bots. It makes information easier to create. That means trust becomes harder to manage. The consumer gold rush may eventually be about trusted assistant. Who do you trust to help you decide? A search engine, a social platform, a device maker, a chatbot company, a bank, a healthcare provider, an open source assistant you control. This trust question will shape adoption. Now let us talk about the invisible tax of AI. AI can save time. It can also create new work, checking outputs, correcting errors, managing tools, updating prompts, reviewing policies, training employees, monitoring agents, handling security, explaining AI decisions, dealing with customers who receive AI-generated mistakes. This is the hidden work of AI. Many business cases ignore it. A tool may save 10 hours and create 4 hours of review, monitoring, and cleanup. Still useful, but not magic. This is why realistic measurement matters. The gold rush loves gross saving. Operators care about net savings. Now let us talk about productivity. AI may increase productivity, but productivity is not automatic. A worker writing bad emails faster is not productivity. A company generating more reports no one reads is not productivity. A team producing more code with more bugs is not productivity. A support bot closing tickets without solving problems is not productivity. A marketing team flooding channels with generic content is not productivity. Real productivity means better outcomes per unit of effort, faster response and happier customers, more revenue with less waste, better code with fewer defects, shorter sales cycles with higher trust, less admin without losing accuracy, better decisions from clearer information. This is the difference between AI activity and AI value. Many companies will confuse the two. They will count prompts, users, pilots, and tools, but the real question is, did the business improve? That is where the gold rush becomes serious. Now let us talk about why executives are under pressure. A CEO cannot simply say, "We are waiting." Boards want AI plans. Investors want AI strategy. Employees want cadence. Customers expect better service. Competitors announce AI products. Vendors pitch AI every week. This creates pressure to act. But acting too fast can waste money. Acting too slowly can lose ground. The best executives will avoid both extremes. They will not buy AI they will not ignore it because of skepticism. They will ask, where is work slow? Where is cost high? Where do customers wait? Where is data underused? Where are employees overloaded? Where can AI help safely? How will we measure value? This is boring. It is also the path to real ROI. Now let us talk about AI strategy. Many companies think an AI strategy means choosing tools. It does not. The AI strategy means choosing where intelligence changes the business. Customer service, sales, product development, software engineering, operations, finance, compliance, marketing, research. Then it means deciding how to change workflows, data, roles, governance, and measurement. Tools come later. A tool without a workflow is a toy. A workflow without measurement is a story. A strategy without execution is theater. The AI gold rush is full of theater, but the real value is in execution. Now let us talk about the timeline problem. People overestimate what AI will do in 1 year and underestimate what it may do in 10. In 1 year, many pilots fail. Tools are messy. Costs are high. Employees resist. Legal teams slow things down. Customers complain about bad bots. Investors get nervous. In 10 years, workflows may be completely different. They may be embedded into every major software product. Agents may handle routine tasks. Students may learn differently. Doctors may document differently. Lawyers may research differently. Programmers may code differently. Small businesses may operate with far more leverage. The gold rush feels confusing because short-term noise and long-term change happen together. I bet a chatbot in audio does not prove the AI is useless. A stunning demo does not prove transformation is complete. Both can be true. The current tools are flawed. The long-term shift is enormous. Holding both thoughts is difficult. That is why narratives swing between hype and dismissal. Now let us talk about AI as infrastructure. The most important technologies eventually disappear into the background. Electricity used to be a marvel. Now it is expected. Cloud computing used to be a strategic novelty. Now it is normal infrastructure. Mobile internet used to be special. Now people assume everything works on a phone. AI may follow this path. We use AI. Later, they will stop saying it. The email tool will have AI. The CRM will have AI. The help desk will have AI. The accounting system will have AI. The code editor will have AI. The phone will have AI. The browser will have AI. The car will have AI. The medical record system will have AI. AI becomes a layer. When a technology becomes a layer, the money shifts. The early companies selling AI novelty may struggle. The companies embedding AI into essential workflows may win. This is why the gold rush will mature. The question will change from, does it have AI? To does it work better? That is the moment hype fades and value remains. Now let us talk about personal AI. The dream is a personal assistant that knows your preferences, calendar, messages, files, goals, habits, and tasks. It can help plan, write, remember, buy, schedule, learn, and decide. This is powerful. It is also sensitive. A personal assistant needs trust. It may see private data. It may influence decisions. It may shape what information you see. It may become emotionally important. The company that owns personal AI could become extremely powerful. This is why device makers, model companies, and platform companies care. The interface to the individual is a strategic prize. Now let us talk about business AI. The enterprise assistant is different. It needs access to company documents, systems, policies, data, and workflows. It must respect permission. It must know when to escalate. It must produce auditable output. It must be secure. This is less glamorous than consumer chat. It may be more profitable. A business will pay for that it reduces cost, speeds work, or improves revenue. But business AI must prove itself. This is why enterprise AI will move from experimentation to accountability. The first phase was, can we try this? The next phase is, what did it improve? Now let us talk about AI and inequality. A gold rush can concentrate wealth. The companies with capital can buy compute. The companies with data can train better systems. The platforms with distribution can embed AI everywhere. The workers with AI skills can move faster. The workers without access may fall behind. The countries with infrastructure can lead. The countries without it may depend on foreign systems. AI could democratize some capabilities. It could also concentrate power. Both are possible. A small business can access tools once reserved for large companies, but the foundational infrastructure may be controlled by a few giants. A student can get tutoring, but the tutor may come from a private platform. A creator can make more content, but platform algorithms may decide who sees it. This is the paradox. AI can widen access at the application level while concentrating power at the infrastructure level. That is one of the hardest parts to understand. Now let us talk about national competition. AI is not only corporate. Governments see AI as strategic, economic growth. military capability, cyber defense, scientific leadership, industrial productivity, education, healthcare, public services. Countries want domestic AI capacity because dependency on foreign models and foreign clouds can feel risky. This creates a national AI gold rush, compute investments, sovereign AI, semiconductor policy, data center incentives, export controls, talent visas, research funding, regulatory frameworks. AI becomes part of geopolitics. This raises the stakes. A startup competition becomes a national competition. A chip supply chain becomes a security issue. A data center becomes strategic infrastructure. A model release becomes a policy debate. This is another reason the gold rush is so large. Now let us talk about why the average person feels confused. The same week they may hear AI will replace jobs is AI will create jobs. AI is a bubble. AI stocks are soaring. They will save time. AI hallucinates. AI will revolutionize medicine. I cannot count letters correctly. AI agents will run companies. AI chatbots still make basic mistakes. AI will democratize creativity. AI will flood the internet with garbage. All of this can be true in different contexts. AI is not one thing. It is a family of technologies at different maturity levels, applied to different tasks with different risk levels, economics, and outcomes. This is why simple narratives fail. AI is not just hype. AI is not just magic. AI is not just danger. AI is not just productivity. AI is not just a bubble. AI is not just the future. It is a tool layer becoming an economic layer. That process is messy. Now let us talk about the practical way to understand AI opportunities. Ask 5 questions. First, does this solve a real problem? Second, is AI necessary? Or would a simpler tool work? Third, who pays and why? Fourth, what happens when it makes a mistake? Fifth, can the value be measured? These questions cut through most hype. If an AI product cannot answer them, be careful. A relay opportunity does not need mystical language. It can say, we reduce support tickets. We speed contract review. We help developers ship faster. We help small businesses follow up leads. We reduce time spent on documentation. We detect fraud faster. We help analysts find patterns. We make customer onboarding smoother. Clear value is better than big claims. Now let us talk about AI value by task. AI is strongest where the work is language heavy, repetitive, information rich, and annoying. Summarizing, drafting, classifying, searching, comparing, explaining, translating, extracting, routing, generating first drafts, answering common questions, creating variation. AI is weaker where the work requires physical action. High-stakes judgment, deep accountability, real-world context, emotional nuance, or guaranteed correctness. This is not, but it is a useful guide. The best companies apply AI where it is strong and supervise it where it is risky. The worst companies apply AI everywhere because it is trendy. Now let us talk about the winners of the next phase. The first phase rewarded model breakthroughs and infrastructure suppliers. The next phase may reward implementation. Who can turn AI into real workflows? Who can measure ROI? Who can secure data? Who can train employees? Who can integrate with existing systems? Who can reduce risk? Who can build trust? This is less glamorous than model demos. It is where money becomes durable. The AI gold rush will move from magic to management. Look what the model can do, to look what the business improved. That shift will separate hype from value. Now let us talk about why some companies will regret AI spending. They will buy too many tools. They will run disconnected pilots. They will fail to train employees. They will ignore data quality. They will automate broken processes. They will accept vendor claims without proof. They will chase novelty. They will underinvest in security. They will measure activity instead of outcomes. Then they will say I did not work. But often the problem will not be AI. It will be bad implementation. This happened with many technologies. CRM did not fix bad sales teams. Cloud did not fix bad architecture. Analytics did not fix bad decision making. Automation did not fix bad processes. AI will not fix bad management. It may expose it. Now let us talk about why some companies will quietly win. They will pick narrow use cases. They will measure before and after. They will involve frontline workers. They will clean the data. They will keep humans in the loop. They will improve workflows. They will train people. They will use AI where it fits. They will avoid grand announcements. Their AI story may not be flashy. Their operations will improve. That is the kind of AI success that may not make headlines but will create real competitive advantage. Now let us talk about the public markets. Investors love simple stories. AI leader, AI infrastructure, AI cloud, AI software, AI chips, AI data center, AI productivity. Markets reward narratives before they can fully verify results. This creates volatility. A company announces AI spending, and investors ask whether it is visionary or reckless. A company announces AI revenue, and investors ask whether it can scale. A company misses AI expectations, and the stock may fall. A chip supplier reports strong demand, and the market reads it as a sign the boom continues. The stock market becomes a prediction machine for the gold rush. But markets can overshoot. They can price perfection. They can punish uncertainty. They can confuse capital spending with profit. They can reward companies for saying AI before proving AI economics. Investors must ask, where is the durable margin? Who has pricing power? Who owns the customer? Who owns the bottleneck? Who faces commoditization? Who is spending ahead of demand? Who can survive if expectations cool? These questions matter. Now let us talk about venture capital. VCs are hunting for the next OpenAI, the next AI infrastructure company, the next agent platform, the next vertical AI winner. This creates funding waves. Some great companies get built. Some weak ideas get funded. Founders learn to say the right word, agent IC. Enterprise AI, workflow automation, vertical model, AI native, digital labor, model orchestration, AI operating system. Some of these words describe real ideas. Some become costume jewelry. Venture capital is designed to tolerate failure. Most startups can fail if one becomes huge. But for workers, customers, and smaller investors, the failure still matters. The gold rush creates experimentation. Experimentation creates waste. Waste is not evenly distributed. Now let us talk about the AI agency rush. AI automation agencies became popular because businesses were confused and beginners wanted opportunity. The pitch was, sell AI systems to businesses that do not know how to build. This can be legitimate. Businesses need help. But many agencies sell before they understand operations, security, data, or maintenance. They build chatbots, automations, and voice agents that work in demos, but this is another gold rush pattern. When tools become easy to access, expertise becomes easy to fake. The long-term winners will be serious implementation partners. The weak ones will disappear when clients demand results. Now let us talk about pay and trust in institutions. Deep fakes, fake content, automated persuasion, and AI-generated misinformation can weaken trust. If people cannot tell what is real, they become skeptical of everything. This affects business too. Customers may distrust reviews. Employers may distrust resumes. Teachers may distrust essays. Publishers may distrust submission. Platforms may distrust content. Voters may distrust media. AI makes creation cheap. Verification becomes more important. This creates new markets. Authentication, watermarking, identity verification, content provenance, security tools, trust platforms, human certification. The gold rush creates problems. Then other companies rush to solve those problems. That is how ecosystems grow. Now let us talk about cybercustodian. AI helps defenders and attackers. Defenders can summarize alerts, detect anomalies, assist analysts, generate scripts, and respond faster. Attackers can write better phishing emails, automate reconnaissance, generate malicious code, and scale social engineering. This creates an arms race. Security teams need AI. Attackers use AI. Vendors sell AI security. Companies worry about AI agents becoming attack surfaces. The cybercustodian layer may be one of the biggest practical AI artists because the threat landscape changes quickly. Again, AI is not simply good or bad. It raises capability on both sides. Now let us talk about the cost curve. A key question is whether AI gets cheaper fast enough. If models become more efficient, hardware improves, inference costs fall, and competition increases, AI can spread widely. If costs remain high, companies must charge more, limit usage, or focus only on high-value tasks. This cost curve will shape the whole market. Cheap intelligence changes everything. Expensive intelligence remains specialized. The gold rush assumes costs will fall and demand will grow. If that assumption is right, if wrong, parts of the market may correct sharply. Now let us talk about the demand curve. How much AI will people actually use? Then they keep using it only if it saves time or creates value. For businesses, the test is stricter. Does it reduce cost? Does it increase revenue? Does it improve speed? Does it reduce risk? Does it improve customer experience? AI demand will be strongest where answers are yes. The challenge is that many use cases sound valuable but are hard to deploy. This creates a gap between theoretical demand and realized demand. The gold rush prices the theory. Operators must deliver the reality. Now let us talk about measurement. AI needs better measurement. Companies should not ask only, how many employees use AI? They should ask, what changed? Time saved. Revenue influenced, cost reduced, errors reduced, cycle time improved, customer satisfaction improved, employee satisfaction improved, risk reduced. Without measurement, AI becomes a belief system. Gold rushes thrive on belief. Businesses survive on numbers. Now let us talk about culture. A company can buy AI tools and still fail if culture resists. Employees may fear being replaced. Managers may not know how to evaluate AI-assisted work. Legal teams may block everything. Executives may demand unrealistic results. Departments may hoard data. Workers may use AI secretly. AI changes how work is done, so culture matters. The companies that succeed will be honest. Here is what AI is for. Here is what humans still own. Here is how we protect data. Here is how we measure value. Here is how roles may change. Here is how we train people. Silence creates fear. Fear creates resistance. Now let us talk about the future of entry-level work. This is one of the biggest unresolved questions. AI is good at many tasks juniors used to do. Research, first drafts, summaries, basic analysis, code snippets, document review, customer replies. If companies automate too many entry-level tasks, how do beginners learn? A senior lawyer learned by reviewing documents. A senior analyst learned by cleaning data. A senior developer learned by writing simple code. A senior marketer learned by drafting campaigns. If AI takes the practice work, companies need new training models. Otherwise, they may save money now and create a talent shortage later. This is a hidden cost of the gold rush. Now let us talk about AI and management. Managers may use AI to monitor, summarize, evaluate, and coordinate work. This can help. They can also create surveillance. If employees feel every message, task, and output is being analyzed by AI, trust may fall. AI management tools need boundaries. Productivity should not become constant suspicion. The gold rush can create better workplaces or colder ones. That choice is human. Now let us talk about the AI cannot easily replace. Trust, taste, accountability, physical presence, deep relationships. moral judgment, leadership, care, original insight, real-world responsibility. AI can assist around these things. It cannot fully become them. A business that forgets this may automate away its own value. This is especially true for small businesses, creative work, healthcare, education, and high-trust services. The best AI strategies protect the human core while automating the surrounding friction. Now let us talk about the most misunderstood word in the gold rush: automation. People hear automation and imagine replacement. Sometimes yes, but often automation means removing steps, reducing delays, making information easier to use, and letting humans focus on harder work. A support agent may not replace the whole support team. It may handle the first layer. A coding assistant may not replace the developer. It may remove boilerplate. A finance AI may not replace the accountant. It may prepare summaries. A legal AI may not replace the lawyer. It may review drafts. This distinction matters because businesses buy outcomes. Workers fear replacement, and vendors exaggerate both. The reality will vary by task. Now let us talk about the moral responsibility of builders. AI builders are not just creating tools. They are shaping how people work, learn, communicate, decide, and trust information. That carries responsibility. Do not hide limitations. Do not exaggerate autonomy. Do not ignore bias. Do not treat user data casually. Do not optimize only for engagement. Do not sell risky systems into sensitive areas without safeguard. Do not pretend humans are not affected. Gold rushes reward speed. Society needs responsibility. Balancing those two is hard. Now let us talk about why AI feels different from previous software. Traditional software required humans to learn its structure. Menus, buttons, fields, workflows, dashboards. AI lets humans use language. That lowers the barrier. A person can ask. The system answers. A person can describe it ask. The system tries. This makes AI feel universal. That universality is why the gold rush spreads so quickly. Everyone can imagine a use case because everyone uses language. But language is also ambiguous. That ambiguity creates errors. AI is powerful because it understands messy language. AI is risky because messy language can lead to messy actions. This is the trade-off. Now let us talk about the next interface. The AI interface may move from typing to speaking. Voice assistants that understand context could make AI feel more natural. Workers could talk to software. Customers could talk to businesses. Students could talk to tutors. Drivers could talk to cars. Doctors could dictate notes. Elderly users could ask for help without typing. Voice expands access. It also increases emotional connection and risk. A voice feels human. Users may trust it more. Design matters. Now let us talk about video. AI video may become one of the most disruptive creative technologies. It can lower production costs. It can help marketers, educators, filmmakers, advertisers, and creators. It can also flood platforms with synthetic content and make misinformation harder to detect. AI video is expensive to generate at scale, which links it back to infrastructure. This is another example of the gold rush loop. Better models create new products. New products create more demand. More demand requires more compute. More compute requires more data centers. More data centers require more energy. A video clip on a screen reaches all the way back to the power grid. Now let us talk about AI and the web. If AI answers reduce website traffic, publishers and businesses may need new strategies. Content created only for search traffic may lose value. Brands may need direct relationships. Email lists, communities, trusted audiences, and strong brands may matter more. This could hurt websites that depended on search arbitrage. It could help businesses with real customer relationships. Again, AI changes the map. Now let us talk about what individuals should do. Do not panic. Do not worship the tools. Do not ignore them. Learn by applying AI to real tasks. Use it to draft. Use it to summarize. Use it to study. Use it to analyze. Use it to brainstorm. Use it to automate small workflows. Use it to explain things. Then learn where it fails. Check facts. Protect private data. Keep your own judgment. Develop domain expertise. Use AI to strengthen your work, not replace your thinking. The best personal strategy is not becoming an AI influencer. It is becoming better at your actual work with AI as leverage. Now let us talk about what small companies should do. Start with one workflow. Where do leads get lost? Where do customers wait? Where do employees repeat themselves? Where do documents pile up? Where do managers lack visibility? Where does manual work slow revenue? Use AI there. Measure. Improve. Then expand. Do not buy the whole gold rush. Solve one painful problem. Now let us talk about what large companies should do. Avoid AI theater. Do not measure success by press releases. Do not launch pilots with no owner. Do not buy tools because a competitor did. Do not centralize so much that teams cannot experiment. Do not decentralize so much that security collapses. Create a clear portfolio. Low-risk productivity tools. High-value workflow automation. Strategic AI products. Longer-term research bets. Governance and measurement across all of them. This is how serious companies turn gold rush energy into operating advantage. Now let us talk about the ending nobody can predict. Will AI produce massive productivity growth? Probably in some areas. Will it replace jobs? Some tasks and roles, yes. Will it create new jobs? Likely, but not always for the same people or in the same places. Will some AI companies collapse? Yes. Will some become giants? Yes. Will infrastructure spending continue forever at the same pace? Unclear. Will AI become boring infrastructure? Probably. Will the hype disappear? Eventually, the hype changes form. The gold rush will not end in one clean moment. It will mature. Weak products will fade. Scams will be exposed. Infrastructure will be absorbed or written down. Real workflows will stay. AI features will become standard. Regulation will grow. Users will become more demanding. Investors will ask harder questions. Workers will adapt unevenly. And one day, people may stop saying AI for many things. They will just use the product. That is when a technology has truly arrived. Now let us bring the whole story together. The AI gold rush nobody fully understands is not a single race for one prize. It is a race for chips, a race for power, a race for models, a race for applications, a race for enterprise workflow, a race for agents, a race for talent, a race for data, a race for trust, a race for regulation, a race for the interface between humans and machines. Some people will get rich. Some people will lose money. Some companies will overbuild. Some companies will underreact. Some jobs will change. Some tasks will disappear. Some new businesses will be born. Some old businesses will become stronger. Some scams will collapse. Some boring infrastructure will make fortunes. The confusion is not a sign that nothing is happening. The confusion is happening because too much is happening at once. That is the real lesson. When a technology touches language, work, software, infrastructure, energy, creativity, education, and power at the same time, no one fully sees the whole picture. The best we can do is separate the layers. The chip layer, the cloud layer, the model layer, the application layer, the workflow layer, the labor layer, the trust layer, the power layer. Once you see the layers, the gold rush becomes less mysterious. It is still uncertain, but it is not random. The money is chasing leverage. Leverage over work. Leverage over knowledge. Leverage over software. Leverage over infrastructure. Leverage over attention. Leverage over decision. AI is powerful because it promises leverage in all of those places. That is why everyone is running. The mistake is thinking everyone is running toward the same gold. They are not. Some are mining. Some are selling shovels. Some are building roads. Some are selling maps. Some are faking treasure. Some are buying land. Some are writing laws. Some are moving too early. Some are arriving too late. Some are quietly building something real. This is what a gold rush looks like while you are inside it. Messy, loud, overpriced, overpromised, full of opportunity, full of danger, hard to ignore, hard to measure, easy to misunderstand. The winners will be the ones who understand that AI is not magic. It is not a miracle button. It is not a guaranteed business model. It is not a replacement for judgment. It is not a strategy by itself. It is a new kind of leverage, and leverage rewards people who know where to apply it. That may be the simplest truth in the entire rush. The gold is not just in the model. It is not just in the chip. It is not just in the app. It is not just in the data center. The gold is wherever AI turns a real bottleneck into a faster, cheaper, better workflow. That could be inside a giant cloud company. It could be inside a hospital. It could be inside a law firm. It could be inside a small plumbing business. It could be inside a school. It could be inside a creator's studio. It could be inside a factory. It could be inside a programmer's editor. It could be inside an ordinary office where someone is tired of doing the same task for the 100th time. That is why the AI gold rush is so big. The bottlenecks are everywhere. The question is who can solve them responsibly, profitably, and at scale. Everybody wants the gold, but the people who understand the work may be the ones who find it. There is one more way to see the AI gold rush. Imagine the economy as a giant machine made of conversations, documents, decisions, and repetitive tasks. A customer asks a question. A worker writes a reply. A manager reviews a report. A developer fixes a bug. A lawyer reads a contract. A doctor writes notes. A teacher explains a lesson. A salesperson follows up. A recruiter screens resumes. A finance team checks invoices. A marketer writes copy. A support team answers tickets. So much of modern work is language wrapped around systems. AI is attacking that layer. Not perfectly. Not safely in every case. Not without cost. But enough to make every organization ask what language work is worth when machines can produce, summarize, translate, search, and act on language at scale. That is why this rush feels different from a normal software cycle. Most software automates a specific process. AI touches the general medium of work. Words are how companies sell. Words are how they support customers. Words are how they write code. Words are how they make policies. Words are how they train people. Words are how they report results. Words are how they negotiate. Words are how they document knowledge. When machines become useful with words, they enter everywhere. This is why a single model can appear in education, medicine, sales, law, software, and entertainment. That breadth is rare. It is also why the gold rush is difficult to price. How do you value a technology that could affect almost every knowledge workflow, but where each workflow has different economics, risk, and adoption speed? That is the investor's problem. The business operator has a different problem. Where should we use it? The worker has another. What does this mean for my role? The policymaker has another. How do we protect people without stopping progress? The citizen has another. What can I trust? The founder has another. Where can I build a company before the giants absorb the category? The cloud provider has another. How much capacity should we build before demand is proven? The chip maker has another. How long can this demand grow? The teacher has another. What does learning mean when answers are instant? The artist has another. What is originality when images, music, and video can be generated from text? This is not one debate. It is 1,000 debates with the same technology underneath. Now let us talk about timing. A gold rush rewards early movers, but it also punishes people who arrive before the market is ready. This is one of the hardest parts. Move too late, and the best positions are taken. Move too early, and you spend money before customers are ready. Many AI startups face this timing problem. They build agents before companies trust agents. They build AI video tools before workflows are mature. They build enterprise platforms before data is ready. They build consumer apps before people know what habits should form. They build specialized tools before users understand the category. Some early companies will educate the market and die before the market becomes profitable. Later companies may learn from their mistakes and win. This happened in many technology cycles. Being right too early can still be fatal. That is another reason the gold rush is confusing. A failed company does not always mean a bad idea. A successful early product does not always mean a durable company. Timing, distribution, cost, and trust decide more than amount. Now let us talk about distribution. In AI, distribution may be more important than model quality for many products. A slightly weaker AI inside a tool people already use may beat a stronger AI in an app no one opens. This is why Microsoft, Google, Apple, Meta, Adobe, Salesforce, ServiceNow, and other incumbents matter. They already have users. They already have workflows. They already have data surfaces. They already have trust or at least dependence. A startup may have a better demo. An incumbent has the login. That does not mean startups cannot win, but it means startups need sharp wedges, a narrow pane, a specific customer, a workflow incumbents ignore, a better experience, a community, a data advantage, a speed advantage. The broad generic AI assistant market is hard because giants want it. The narrow workflow market may be where startups build defensible businesses. This is why vertical AI is so popular. AI for dentists, AI for law firms, AI for freight brokers, AI for insurance claims, AI for construction paperwork, AI for real estate agents, AI for restaurants. They work for medical billing, AI for sales development, AI for customer success. The idea is simple. Do not beat the giant model company at general intelligence. Beat everyone at one painful workflow. That may be a smarter gold rush strategy. Now let us talk about data moats. For years, people asked whether AI companies have moats. If models improve in opens or option spread, will every model become a commodity? Maybe for some tasks, but workflow data can create moats. A company that handles millions of support tickets in one industry can learn patterns. A company that processes contracts can learn clause variation. A company that manages medical billing can learn denial patterns. A company that runs sales outreach can learn which messages work in a niche. A company that supports developers can learn code-based workflow. The model may be rented. The workflow learning may be owned. This is where some application companies can survive. They do not need to own the foundation model. They need to own the relationship between AI and a valuable workflow. Now let us talk about AI and pricing power. A company has pricing power when customers clearly see value and cannot easily replace it. Many AI products struggle here. Users like them, but do they pay enough? Businesses test them, but do they renew? Developers try APIs, but do they switch when cheaper models appear? Enterprises love demos, but do they expand deployment? The gold rush contains a lot of usage that may not convert into strong pricing power. This is why business models matter. Subscriptions, usage-based pricing, outcome-based pricing, enterprise contracts, per-seat pricing, per-agent pricing, revenue sharing, advertising, marketplace fees. Each has trade-offs. If you charge per user, I may reduce seats because fewer people do more. If you charge per usage, customers may worry about unpredictable bills. If you charge per outcome, you must prove the outcome. If you use ads, trust may suffer. The AI business model is still being invented. That is another layer of uncertainty. Now let us talk about margin. Software investors love high margin. AI can threaten margins because inference costs money. A SaaS company adding AI features may face higher compute costs without being able to raise prices enough. A consumer AI app may grow fast but lose money on heavy users. An enterprise AI platform may need expensive support and customization. An AI video company may face large generation costs. This is why the economics are not obvious. Revenue is not enough. Gross margin matters. Cost per task matters. Model routing matters. Efficiency matters. The companies that survive will learn to match model cost to task value. Do not use the most expensive model for a simple classification. Do not call a model 10 times when a rule would work. Do not generate outputs no one reads. Do not build agents that spend more on compute than the task is worth. The next phase of AI may be less about bigger models for everything and more about efficient systems. Small models, specialized models, caching, RAG, tool use, human review, model routing, on-device processing. The gold rush begins with bigger. The business matures with cheaper and better. Now let us talk about reliability. A consumer may tolerate a funny mistake. A business may not. Enterprise AI needs reliability. Correct enough is not always enough. If AI drafts a marketing idea, a mistake is manageable. If AI summarizes a medical record, the standard is higher. If AI approves a payment, higher. If AI gives legal advice, higher. If AI controls a physical system, higher. This means AI adoption will vary by risk. Low-risk workflows move first. High-risk workflows move slower. This is why the gold rush is uneven. AI may feel everywhere in marketing and coding, but slower in medicine, law, finance, and government. Not because the value is lower, because the cost of mistakes is higher. Now let us talk about human approval. The real economy will contain many hybrid workflows. AI drafts, humans approve. AI summarizes, humans verify. AI flags, humans decide. AI handles simple cases. Humans handle exceptions. AI monitors, humans intervene. Though autonomy gets attention, hybrid work creates value sooner. This is important because the hype often jumps to replacement. But the path to adoption is assistance, then supervised action, then limited autonomy, then broader autonomy only where trust is earned. Companies that understand this will deploy AI better. Companies chasing full autonomy too early may create. Now let us talk about AI safety in plain language. Safety is not only about science fiction risks. It is also about everyday business risks. Does the system make things up? Does it leak data? Does it treat people unfairly? Does it follow policy? Does it know when to stop? Can humans audit it? Can it be manipulated? Does it create harmful instructions? Does it give dangerous advice? Does it overstate confidence? These are practical safety questions. The gold rush sometimes treats safety as a slowdown, but safety can be a business advantage. Enterprises will pay for AI they can trust. Regulators will favor companies that can explain controls. Customers will stay with products that do not betray them. Trust is not anti-growth. Trust is durable growth. Now let us talk about the role of consultants. Consulting firms love AI because every company needs advice, strategy, use cases, implementation, governance, change management, data cleanup, vendor selection, risk management. This creates huge consulting opportunity, but it also creates consulting theater. Slide decks about AI transformation, workshops with vague framework, pilots that never scale, roadmaps disconnected from operation. The good consultants will help companies choose real workflows and measure value. The weak ones will self-ear in jargon. Again, the gold rush contains both. Now let us talk about the irony of AI productivity. AI is supposed to save time, but the AI gold rush is making many people busier. Executives attend AI briefings. Workers learn tools. Companies run pilots. Teams compare vendors. Managers create policies. Employees rewrite workflows. Security teams review risks. Legal teams analyze contracts. Investors study CapEx. Founders chase product ideas. The transition itself is work. This is normal. Every major technology creates a messy adoption period. The productivity gains come after the organization changes, not the moment the tool appears. This is why patience matters. Now let us talk about AI fatigue. People are getting tired of hearing about AI. Every product says AI. Every executive says AI. Every pitch deck says AI. Every tool has a sparkle icon. Every conference has agent panels. This fatigue is real. But fatigue with marketing does not mean fatigue with value. People got tired of internet hype too. They still use the internet. The AI companies that survive fatigue will be the ones that stop shouting AI and start delivering outcomes. When users stop noticing the AI and simply notice that the task is easier, the market becomes real. Now let us talk about the language of the rush. Words like agent IC, multimodem, foundation model, OI native, copilot, autonomous, digital labor, workflow intelligence, synthetic data, AI operating system. Some of these are useful. Some become fog. A good rule: if a company cannot explain the value in plain English, be careful. Plain English might sound like, we answer customer questions faster. We reduce invoice errors. We help sales reps follow up. We summarize legal documents. We help developers find bugs. We turn reviews into product insight. We reduce time spent on reporting. That is enough. Complex language should clarify complexity, not hide weak value. Now let us talk about the relationship between AI and old automation. Many business processes were already automated before AI. Rules, scripts, RPA, template, workflows, macros, APIs. AI does not replace all of that. It adds flexibility. Old automation is good when rules are clear. AI is useful when inputs are messy. The best systems combine both. Rules handle predictable steps. AI handles language and ambiguity. Humans handle judgment and exceptions. This hybrid design is less flashy than calling everything an autonomous agent. It is more practical. Now let us talk about the danger of AI on a culture. If many companies rely on the same models, outputs may become similar. Same writing style, same recommendations, same coding patterns, same customer service tone, same marketing ideas, same analysis structures. This could make business communication more generic. The companies that add unique data, taste, domain knowledge, and human editing will stand out. AI makes average easier. It does not automatically create excellence. Excellence may become more valuable. Now let us talk about the environmental debate. AI infrastructure consumes energy and resources. Supporters argue AI can help solve climate and efficiency problems. Critics worry the infrastructure itself increases energy demand and emissions. Both arguments can be true. The environmental impact depends on energy sources, efficiency, location, cooling, utilization, and what AI replaces or enables. This debate will grow as data centers expand. Communities will ask whether local benefits justify local costs. Companies will market sustainability. Regulators may intervene. Utilities will plan for demand. The gold rush becomes an energy policy question. Now let us talk about utilization. Building data centers is one thing. Using them profitably is another. If demand is strong, capacity becomes valuable. If demand falls short, overbuild becomes a problem. This is the infrastructure risk. AI believers see endless demand. Skeptics see overcapacity. The final answer may differ by region, company, and type of workload. Training demand may be lumpy. Inference demand may become steady. Video and agents may explode usage. Efficiency may reduce cost. Regulation may slow some use cases. No simple forecast captures all of it. That is why the infrastructure rush is one of the most uncertain pieces. Now let us talk about AI in government services. Governments are overloaded with forms, casework, citizen questions, policy documents, and administrative complexity. AI could help people navigate services. It could help staff summarize cases. It could reduce waiting times. It could translate information. But public sector AI must be accountable. A wrong answer about benefits, immigration, taxes, or healthcare can harm people. This creates a high trust requirement. Government adoption may be slow, but the potential impact is large. Now let us talk about AI and language access. Translation is one of the clearest benefits. AI can help people communicate across languages, access services, study, sell internationally, and support customers. This can empower small businesses, immigrants, travelers, students, and global teams. But important translations still need review. The value is access. The risk is misunderstanding. Now let us talk about AI and memory. As AI systems remember more, they become more useful. They can adapt to a user. They can understand preferences. They can keep context. They can support long projects, but memory also creates privacy concern. What does the AI remember? Who controls it? Can it be deleted? Can it be used against the user? Can it leak? Personalization is valuable. Control is essential. This may become a major competition point. The assistant people trust with memory may become powerful. Now let us talk about AI and the future of interfaces. Software may become less about clicking and more about asking. Instead of opening 5 tools, a user says, "Show me customers at risk. Draft the follow-up. Schedule the meeting. Compare these contracts. Explain this report. Create a campaign for this audience." The AI uses tools in the background. If this happens, the interface layer changes. The company that owns the AI interface may sit above many software tools. That is why enterprise software companies are defensive. They do not want someone else's assistant to become the front door to their product. The front door is power. Now let us talk about open questions. Will AI assistants become loyal to users or to platforms? If an assistant recommends products, is it optimizing for the user's best interest, the platform's revenue, or the advertiser's bid? If an assistant helps with work, does it protect the employee, the employer, or the software vendor? If an assistant summarizes news, which sources does it trust? If an assistant filters information, what does it hide? These questions matter because AI systems may shape attention and decision. The gold rush is not only about efficiency, it is about mediation. Who stands between you and the world? Now let us talk about AI and copyright again. The legal fights may redefine creative markets. If creators are paid for data, new licensing markets may form. If not, creators may seek technical blocks, legal restrictions, or new business models. If AI outputs flood markets, human-made work may become premium in some niches. If AI-assisted creation becomes standard, the line between human and machine work may blur. This is not settled. The gold rush is still negotiating with the people whose work helped train the tools. Now let us talk about the psychology of demos. AI demos are powerful because they compress the future into a moment. You type a request. The machine replies. It feels like magic. But demos hide error rates, edge cases, cost, security, integration, and maintenance. A demo shows what is possible. Our product must survive what is normal. This is why demo-driven markets can overheat. Investors, executives, and users see the magic. Operators discover the mess. The gap between magic and mess is where many AI projects live. Now let us talk about the strongest mental model for AI. AI is not a brain in a box. For business, it is a flexible pattern engine connected to tools. It can read patterns in text, images, code, audio, and data. It can generate plausible outputs. It can use tools if connected. It can assist workflows, but it does not automatically understand truth, responsibility, or business context the way humans do. This mental model prevents both worship and dismissal. AI is powerful. AI is fallible. AI is useful. AI needs design. Now let us talk about the gold rush winner people forget. The customer. If AI works, customers may get faster answers, cheaper services, better products, more personalized education, easier access, and better support. But if AI is used badly, Customers get bots that waste time, fake content, scams, wrong answers, and companies hiding behind automation. Customers will eventually decide. They will reward A, but helps and punish A are that frustrating. This is why customer experience matters. A company can cut costs with AI and still lose if customers hate the experience. Now let us talk about AI and brand trust. In an AI-saturated market, brand trust may become more important. If anyone can generate content, customers ask, who can I believe? If anyone can build a chatbot, businesses ask, which vendor can I trust with data? If any product claims AI, investors ask, who has real value? Trust becomes a filter. Strong brands may benefit. New brands must prove themselves. Now let us talk about AI literacy for society. People need to learn. I can be useful. AI can be wrong. I can sound confident. AI outputs need checking. AI-generated content may not be real. Sensitive data should be protected. AI is not a human authority. AI can reflect bias. AI can be manipulated. AI can save time when used well. This literacy is now practical life knowledge. Just as people learn how to search the web, they must learn how to work with AI. Now let us talk about the final shape of the economy. It may not be one giant AI company controlling everything. It may be layered. Chips at the bottom, data centers above, cloud platforms above, foundation models above, developer tools above, applications above, agents above, human workflows above, regulation and trust across the whole stack. Value will move between layers over time. When one layer becomes commoditized, another captures value. When compute is scarce, chip makers win. When models become similar, applications and distribution matter. When applications become features, platforms matter. When platforms become crowded, trust and workflow depth matter. This movement is the market. Now let us talk about why the title says nobody fully understands it. Because understanding AI requires seeing both the screen and the power plant, the chatbot and the chip, the prompt and the data center, the startup and the utility grid, the worker and the boardroom, the demo and the deployment, the model and the business model, the hype and the real workflow, the investor story and the customer experience, the national strategy and the local community. Most people see only one side. The full picture is too large, but the pieces connect. When a user asks for an AI video, it connects to GPS, data centers, power, model training, copyright, creator labor, cloud pricing, platform policy, and advertising strategy. When a company deploys an AI agent, it connects to data governance, employee roles, customer trust, software integration, security, and model economics. When a startup raises money, it connects to venture expectation, cloud costs, talent markets, and platform risk. This is the web. Now let us talk about what happens when the gold rush cools. The cooling will not mean AI disappears. It will mean expectations become sharper. Investors ask for revenue. Customers ask for ROI. Enterprises ask for security. Workers ask for training. Regulators ask for accountability. Users ask for reliability. Communities ask about data centers. Creators ask about rights. The market becomes less forgiving. That is healthy. The first phase rewards imagination. The next phase rewards execution. Now let us talk about the companies that should worry. If your product is only a thin layer over a model, worry. If your AI feature has no measurable value, worry. If your business depends on generic content, worry. If your company has messy data and no plan, worry. If your AI spending is driven by fear, worry. If your customer experience gets worse with automation, worry. If your workforce strategy is just cutting people, worry. If your infrastructure but assumes infinite demand, worry. Concern is not pessimism. It is discipline. Now let us talk about the people who should be hopeful. If you understand a real problem deeply, AI gives you leverage. If you have customer trust, AI helps you serve faster. If you are a skilled worker, AI can amplify your skill. If you are a small business owner, I can reduce your overload. If you are a founder with workflow insight, AI can help you build faster. If you are a teacher, AI can help personalize support. If you are a doctor, AI may reduce paperwork. If you are a creator with taste, AI can expand your production. The opportunity is real for people who connect AI to substance. The danger is highest for people chasing the label. Now let us talk about the most valuable question in the AI era. Not what can AI do? That list gets longer every week. The better question is, what should AI do here? Should it answer? Should it draft? Should it search? Should it summarize? Should it act? Should it recommend? Should it stay out? Should it ask a human? This question brings judgment back into the system. AI capability without judgment creates chaos. AI capability with judgment creates value. Now let us close the final loop. Gold rush is never only about gold. It is about what people believe the gold will let them become. Richer, faster, safer, more powerful, more independent, more important, less replaceable, more competitive. The AI gold rush is powered by the belief that intelligence itself can be turned into a scalable resource. That belief is enormous. If it is even partly true, industries change. If it is overestimated, many fortunes are lost. If it is underestimated, late movers fall behind. This is why the moment feels so tense. The stakes are high, but the map is incomplete. Everyone is running through fog. Some carry real tools. Some carry empty bags. Some sell maps they invented yesterday. Some build roads through the mountains. Some dig in the wrong place. Some quietly find the actual vein. That is the AI gold rush. Not a clean revolution. Not a simple bubble. Not a guaranteed paradise. Not a total fraud. A massive, even race to turn machine intelligence into power, profit, productivity, and control. The people who fully dismiss it may miss the shift. The people who blindly believe every promise may get burned. The smart position is harder. Believe the capability. Question the business model. Use the tools. Measure the value. Protect the humans. Follow the infrastructure. Watch the incentives. Respect the risks. Look for the bottlenecks. Because that is where the real gold is. Not in saying AI. Not in buying hype. Not in chasing every demo. The real gold is in understanding where intelligence removes friction from real work. That is the part nobody fully understands yet. And that is why the rush is only beginning.